Hello friends, welcome to the next session on knowledge representation. Today we are talking about two types of reasoning techniques, that is forward and backward chaining. But before moving with forward and backward chaining ahead, let us look at the inference engine, right? The inference engine is the component of the expert system in artificial intelligence which applies logical rules to the knowledge base to infer new information from the known facts. So here the set of rules are stored and the facts are given where matched with the rules and accordingly the output is given. So forward and backward chaining is the strategies used by the inference engine in making the deductions. Logical inference algorithms use forward and backward chaining approaches which requires knowledge base in the form of first order logic. We already know we have worked a lot with first order logic and we know the knowledge base contains the facts and using those facts you apply inference techniques to generate a new fact. Now the inference engine compares each rule stored in the knowledge base with the facts contained in the database. Rules are stored in the knowledge base and the facts are nothing but the statements, single statements, right? They are compared with the rules. When the if condition, that is if part of the rule matches the fact, the rule is fired and its then action part, that is its then part is executed, right? So if else rule is taken from the knowledge base, the fact what is given is taken. If the fact is part of the if condition, what you write in front of the if it is matching, then the then part of that if condition is executed. The matching of the rule if parts to the facts produces inference chain. So we'll look at inference chain also in the next slide. The inference chain indicates how an expert system applies the rules to reach a conclusion. So let us look at the example of inference chain. Here, suppose these are the three rules which are already stored in the knowledge base. And as I said, the rules is if and then or if then. These are the rules. There are three rules. What rule first says? If X is true, then A is true. If X is true, then A is true. That X implies A. If X is true, then A is true. What the second rule says? If A is true, B is true, C is true, then Y is true, right? So if A, B and C, all these three are true, then Y is true. Fine. Just look at the chain. From this, we are moving ahead this, right? What the rule 3 says, if Y is true and D is true, if Y is true and D is true, then Z is true, right? The simple example of inference chain. Let us look at forward chaining in detail. Forward chaining is a form of reasoning which starts with atomic sentences in the knowledge base and applies inference rules. We already studied inference rules in the previous lecture videos. If you have not gone through it, please go through it. And especially here, modus ponens will be used in the forward direction to extract more data until the goal is reached. Here, facts are held in a working memory and condition action rules represent actions to take when specified fact occurs in the working memory. It may add and delete facts from the working memory. Now, what are the properties of forward chaining? It's a bottom-up approach as it moves from bottom to top. Like why? Because from the facts we are reaching the goal. It is a process of making a conclusion based on known facts or data by starting from an initial state and reaching the goal state. Forward chaining approach is also called as data driven as the data determines which rules are selected and used. So either data or facts is given and you need to decide which rules you need to use for it. A simple example, if you can see what is the fact given is he exercises regularly. As you need it in the first order logic, it is represented using A. Then the next rule what is given is if he is exercising, he is fit. If he is exercising, that is A implies B. What is B? B, he is fit. Now these two things are given. What is the new knowledge you could generate? The new knowledge generated is he is fit, which can be added to the knowledge base. This is forward chaining way, right? We'll look at an example in detail so the concept will be still more clear. Here I have the three rules given and the facts given, right? Now using these three rules, I need to reach a goal. What the rule 1 says, if student is excellent in academics and he is good in sports, then he is all-rounder. This is our goal. We need to prove that the student is all-rounder. What the rule 2 says, if student gets marks greater than 80 and he is good in general knowledge, then he is excellent in academics. This is the second rule. The third rule says if student is making centuries, then he is good in sports. Now using these rules from the knowledge base and given facts. What are the facts given? These are the three statements or the facts or the data given is student gets marks greater than 80. Student is making centuries. He is good in general knowledge. Now given these facts, what should the goal? The goal should be he is all-rounder. So using this fact, I should be able to infer that the student is all-rounder. Fine. Let us see how we work with the forward chaining here. Now, here from these facts, what we'll be doing in case of forward chaining, these facts will be checking whether they exist in the if condition, right? Whether they are part of if condition. So let us go ahead. Now, in rule 2, we already have these two facts in the if condition, if part of the rule, that is student gets marks greater than 80. So in the second rule, we already have student gets marks greater than 80. And the second fact that is good in general knowledge is also there in second rule too. He is good in general knowledge. So given these two facts which are matching with our rule, what we get in the then part, he is excellent in academics. So this is sub goal what we have got. Sub goal is what? He is excellent in academics. So using two facts, we could get a sub goal, right? Now what is remaining? Remaining is student is making century. So we need to search whether we can get this fact in any of the if part of the rules. Now, if you look at rule 3, student is making centuries. The given fact is part of the if condition here, right? And what is the sub goal here? Sub goal is he is good in sports. Now we could get two sub goals. The first sub goal was he is excellent in academics, and the second sub goal is he is good in sports using these facts. Now using these sub goals, we'll try to get the goal. Again, to get the goal, what we need these sub goals to appear in the if part of the rules. Now, he is excellent in academics is already part of the rule 1. You see, student is excellent in academics. He is good in sports is again part of the condition. He is good in sports, right? These two sub goals are appearing in the if part of the rule 1. So we could achieve the final goal that he is all rounder. Is it fine? If forward chaining using inference chain. I hope the concept is clear. What we did, we took these facts, we matched these facts with the rules if part, and then we got the then part as a sub goal. And using these sub goals, we search these sub goals in the again in the if part of the rules, and we could get the final goal. Fine. This is forward chaining. Now let us look at the backward chaining, which is exactly opposite of forward chaining. So in backward chaining is a goal-driven method, whereas forward chaining was data-driven method, remember. Backward chaining is goal-driven method of deriving a particular goal from a given knowledge base and set of inference rules. The inference system knows the final decision or the goal. The system starts from the goal and works backwards to determine what facts must be asserted so that the goal can be achieved. In case of forward chaining, what we did, we were given the facts and using those facts, we reached the goal. In backward chaining, you are given the goal. Using the goal, you should go back to the facts using which you could achieve this goal. The simple example, same as what we had in forward chaining. The goal is what? He is fit. This is goal. So how do you reach? What you need to find out? You need to find out if he is exercising, he is fit and he is exercising regularly. He exercises regularly. Is it fine? Now, let us look at the properties of backward chaining. It is also known as top-down. Why? Because we are starting from the goal and going back to the initial state. Backward chaining is based on modus ponens inference rule. If you can recollect, forward chaining is also based on modus ponens inference rule. The goal is broken into sub-goals or sub-goals to prove the facts true. It is called a goal-driven approach as the list of goals decide which rules are selected and used. In case of forward chaining, we had the data which is to decide which rule should be used, and here the goal will decide which rule should be used. So in case of forward chaining, we used to match it with the if part. In case of backward chaining, we'll be matching the facts with the then part, right? So again, the same example what we had in forward chaining, but the approach is now backward chaining. So this is opposite to forward chaining. Here the interpreter tries to match the then condition instead of if condition as in the forward chaining. So again, you have the students, the rules given and the facts given. Now what is the goal? Goal is what? He is all-rounder. Using this, we need to prove these facts are true, right? So now we are not starting from the facts, we are starting from the goal. So what is goal? He is all-rounder, right? So he is all-rounder is the goal, and what we need to give them, we need to give the facts for this goal. So go in the then part of the rules which are stored in the production system. So let us look at the rule number 1. Rule number 1 already has he is all-rounder, which is a goal. And what are the facts associated with it? It has two facts. Student is excellent in academics and student is good in sports, right? So from this goal, we could get two facts, right? Now let us search these two facts. Now these two facts, you can get it in rule number 2. These two facts, we could get them in rule number 2, right? What is rule number 2 saying? Student is excellent in academics. This fact is now goal of the rule number 2. He is excellent in academics. So he is excellent in academics. We could reach this goal. Then what are the facts which supports this goal? Student gets marks greater than 80 and student is good in general knowledge, right? So we could get now the facts. Student gets marks greater than 80 and student is good in general knowledge. Is it fine? What we did, we use student is excellent in academics. Using this sub if part, we could get two facts. Student gets marks greater than 80 and student is good in general knowledge using rule 2. Now what we need to use another if part, or the goal is sub goal is he is good in sports. Now let us search this. He is good in sport in the then part of the rules. Of course, it is not in the first rule, it is not in the second rule. So we move to the third rule. He is good in sports is in the goal part of the rule 3, that is he is good in sports. So what fact we could get from here? The fact is student is making centuries, right? Student is making centuries. So starting from the student is all-rounder, we could generate all the sub goals and reach the facts. We could prove the facts are true. A very simple example of backward chaining, right? In forward chaining, we started from the facts and reached the goal. In backward chaining, we started from the goal and reached the facts. Let us compare them. Forward versus backward chaining. When based on available data, a decision is taken, then the process is called forward chaining. What is backward chaining? Starts from the goal and works backward to determine what facts must be asserted so that the goal can be achieved. Again, this is data driven and this is goal driven. I'll not read in detail because everything is clear. You can just read it your own, right? Last 6 point gives you the application of forward chaining and application of backward chaining. Is it fine? I hope the concept of forward and backward chaining is clear, and I'm sure all are following it. What the videos, if any query, you all can message me. Thank you.